People need to shut up.
They told me I didn't have a lot of time.
August 15th, the movie opens, though. You need to go to the movie. A couple of them that have played, but most of them who have an opinion about what something should be when they haven't done it. Those who can do, those who can't talk about, those who can. Those who have know what they're talking about. Those who haven't don't.
Denzel Washington isn't holding back, and this time he's putting his voice behind Shadur Sanders in a way that leaves no room for doubt. After the recent injury reports, most people would expect a slowdown, but not Shadur, and definitely not with Denzel in his corner. In a powerful statement, Denzel made it crystal clear: Shadur isn't just bouncing back, he's coming back stronger. And to the critics sitting comfortably behind TV desks, Denzel had a message. If you haven't played the game, lived it, and felt the pressure when the clock is ticking, you simply have no right to judge. This isn't just about football. It's about respect. The people who've been in the trenches know exactly what Shadur can do. The ones who haven't, well, their opinions don't carry the same weight. This moment isn't just Denzel defending an athlete. It's him setting the record straight once and for all.
The connective tissue in this film, to me, is fatherhood. There's three black fathers who are just trying to do the best thing for their kids. I think a lot in sports recently with Shedeur Sanders and Bronny James, you see the pressure.
Denzel Washington came out swinging, making it plain that the chatter surrounding Shedeur Sanders has spiraled into pure nonsense. He called it for what it is: empty talk from people who don't truly understand the game. With a cutting edge to his words, he ridiculed the critics, pointing out that the same commentators who spend their careers parked in studio chairs, far removed from the real grind, are the first to brand Shadur as not good enough. In Denzel's eyes, these so-called experts aren't out there taking hits, calling plays, or feeling the pressure. They're simply observers spinning hollow stories. But Denzel didn't just talk, he issued a challenge. He told Shadur's doubters that if they think he's just making noise, they should meet him in the gym. He promised he'd match Shadur rep for rep, proving firsthand the commitment and grit it takes to succeed. And if that still wasn't enough, Denzel made it clear he's more than ready to bring the fight, figuratively and literally, to anyone who refuses to see Shadur's value. For him, defending Shadur isn't just about standing up in front of cameras. It's about backing words with action, showing strength, and shutting down the critics where it matters most, through undeniable proof.
It's a bars.
Serious.
You know, just,
come get up here with me. Let's find out. Come get in the gym with me. Let's find out.
I mean,
I don't mean you.
We saw
but,
you.
I can throw my hands. I can do
saw
it.
you
I can sure do it.
In the Rolls Royce.
I can do it for real.
I
don't talk about it.
Denzel made it clear he has zero doubts about Shadur's ability to compete at the very top. Sure, everyone's entitled to their opinion, but he didn't shy away from pointing out a hard truth. Most of the people tearing Shadur down have never experienced what it's actually like out on that field. They've never stood tall in the pocket with defenders closing in like a freight train. They've never carried the weight of an entire game on their shoulders, or had to make split-second choices that decide whether a team wins or loses. In Denzel's view, that kind of criticism isn't born from real knowledge. It's born from inexperience and ignorance. And for that reason, he refuses to give their words any real value.
I mean, listen, Shakur can play, for real. And everybody's got an opinion. In fact, we live in a world of opinionaires. That's what I call them, opinionaires. They're all the shows, a bunch of guys, and a couple of them that have played, but most of them who haven't.
Denzel didn't hold back when addressing Shadur's haters, bluntly telling them that if they can't contribute anything meaningful, they'd be better off buying a ticket and watching one of his movies. In his eyes, that's a far more productive way to spend their time than sitting around trying to tear someone down. Instead of pouring their energy into empty criticism from the sidelines, he urged them to put it towards something that actually matters. Because at the end of the day, taking shots at a player who's out there grinding, improving, and proving himself doesn't hurt Shadur. It just reveals how bitter and unproductive the critics really are.
People need to shut up.
They told me I didn't have a lot of time.
August 15th, the movie opens, though. You need to go to the movie. Learn how to do something. Be actually good at something.
Denzel took a sharp swing at Tony Grossi, comparing his criticism of Shadur to giving a scrawny kid a microphone and letting him rip apart someone's reputation when that person isn't even there to respond. He called out how pointless and damaging that kind of behavior is. Cheap shots that add nothing to the game and do nothing to uplift the players. Though Denzel didn't drop Grossi's name right away, the jab about those skinny arms made it crystal clear who he meant. And as far as Denzel was concerned, the critique was more than fair. Grossi had this one coming.
Skinny kid, you know, who never played a day in his life, and now he can get back at everybody because he got a mic in his face and show.
Well, let me leave you on this. I know, like you say.
But now I really feel you play varsity. People need to shut up.
I'm gonna close it out, right? I got my equalizer.
People
box.
need to shut up.
They told me I didn't have a lot of.
Denzel's outburst wasn't a spur-of-the-moment flare-up. It was the result of frustration that had been building for a long time. For years, Tony Grossi had conveniently ignored every strength and achievement Shedeur Sanders brought to the game, zeroing in only on the flaws. The breaking point came when Grossi went on air and openly mocked Shedeur's arm soreness, treating it like a joke. With a smug edge to his voice, he insinuated that it was ridiculous for Shedeur to be sore after taking fewer reps than any other quarterback on the roster.
Obviously, it was counterproductive because he's got a sore arm.
Okay, so you're using that as a negative against the kid?
I don't understand.
Jesus God, would you give him a chance?
Well,
My God,
here's the
because his
thing.
arm's sore?
Yeah.
What, that's a negative? That the kid's got a sore arm?
Yes!
Because he's working too hard? The hell out.
Denzel recognized it for what it was: a low blow. Grossi's remarks didn't just cast doubt on Shedeur's toughness. They took aim at his dedication, his discipline, and his fight. This wasn't harmless teasing. It was a calculated attempt to chip away at a young quarterback's reputation. And Denzel had no intention of letting it slide. It also wasn't the first time Grossi had been put on blast. Just one game earlier, Shedeur himself had stepped up and done it with style. Fresh off a standout performance, he strode straight toward Grossi, eyes locked, and asked, "So Tony, got anything good to say about me now?" He didn't stop there. "You've been throwing shade at me for no reason," he pressed on. "I've never done a thing to you, so what's your problem?" The tension in the air was undeniable. This wasn't just a player talking back to a reporter. It was a raw, unscripted moment that had fans and media alike buzzing. And as for what came next, let's just say this story was far from over.
He's got the fewest reps in camp, and he's got a sore arm. Why? Well, people say he throws a lot before practice and after practice. Well, how counterproductive is that?
I'm sure there's a method to the madness.
Shedeur Sanders' direct questioning caught Tony Grossi completely off balance. The veteran reporter, visibly unsettled, couldn't quite mask his irritation. The moment had clearly hit a sensitive spot, but in truth, Grossi had brought it on himself. After years of taking needless digs, Shedeur decided it was finally time to fire back. Then, just when it seemed like things might tip over into a full-blown confrontation, Shedeur changed the tempo. Flashing a sly grin, he let out a laugh, revealing the whole exchange had been a bit of a setup. The tension eased, turning what felt like a heated clash into more of a playful jab. Still, the underlying message was impossible to miss. Grossi's shots had crossed the line, and if it stung to be called out, maybe it was about time he learned how to take a hit himself. For too long, athletes like Shedeur Sanders have been subjected to criticism that misses the mark entirely. Opinions formed not from experience, effort, or understanding, but from distance and assumption. Too often, commentators and pundits judge without stepping onto the field, without feeling the weight of a game, and without understanding the split-second decisions and sacrifices it takes to perform at the highest level. This kind of misguided critique doesn't just misrepresent a player. It diminishes the very effort and skill that make the game great. Shedeur, however, has refused to let this type of criticism define him. Enter Denzel Washington, whose defense of Shedeur brought clarity, authority, and passion to the conversation. Denzel called out the critics, pointing out that those who haven't lived the game have no right to pass judgment. He highlighted the ignorance behind cheap shots, emphasizing that true respect is earned through effort, resilience, and dedication, not through commentary from a studio chair. Denzel's unapologetic stance reinforced the idea that defenders of fairness and hard work matter just as much as the athletes themselves, giving Shedeur's side of the story a voice that couldn't be ignored. The tension between Shedeur and Tony Grossi illustrated the real-world impact of misguided criticism. When confronted, Grossi was caught off guard, revealing the fragility behind his harsh words. Shedur's response, firm, direct, and even lightly humorous, showed that a player's confidence, talent, and composure are stronger than any negative narrative. Ultimately, this story is about more than one quarterback or one reporter. It's about standing up to baseless judgment, valuing genuine effort over empty opinions, and proving that true skill and dedication cannot be undermined by those who only watch from the sidelines. Shadur Sanders, backed by voices like Denzel Washington, has shown that action, integrity, and perseverance always speak louder than criticism. What do you think about all this? Do you believe critics like Tony Grossi have a right to pass judgment on players who are out there giving it their all, or should their opinions carry less weight? How do you feel about Shadur Sanders' way of handling criticism, standing up to it directly versus ignoring it? And what about Denzel Washington stepping in? Does having someone of his stature defend a player change the conversation for you? Can words from fans, media, or even celebrities really influence how we see an athlete? Or is performance on the field all that truly matters? Tell your thoughts in the comment section below. We'd love to hear from you.